What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today's video, I was planning on actually working on the off-road mini quad, finally finishing this thing up, getting a new sprocket swapped on the back so we can get a chain on her and actually rip this thing around for the first time. But this axle is just giving me the biggest pain trying to find a wrench that's I think like a 34 millimeter, and then trying to figure out how to actually get this thing all apart, because this thing does not come apart like a normal quad. Like, these nuts do not slip over this, so I have to like split this off somehow and got to figure all that out. So I'm gonna do a little bit more research and actually do a video on that on Friday, and then we can actually have a little bit of fun ripping it around once it's actually all complete. But today I actually want to get a video out for you guys on Monday, so we're gonna be working on the mini drift quad, actually fixing up a few things that ended up breaking over time of actually ripping this thing around a little bit. Last thing you guys seen about this thing, we actually took it out to a local spot nearby, drifted around for about like 10 to 15 minutes before we ended up actually ripping out the jack shaft mount and getting this all tweaked out of place. Chain wouldn't really go on, and this thing was just pretty much out of commission at that point. So I ended up just doing it all off camera. Before, I had two M6 bolts on the bottom here and then an M8 bolt on the top. And I had a feeling over time those M6 bolts were either gonna break or bend and kind of rip themselves out, which ended up happening. So I re-drilled the hole out, put a nice M8 bolt in there. It's about 4.5 inches long, so it connects both sides together. Put a little sleeve in between so it saves it from kind of pressing itself too much or too far. And so far it's been pretty solid. And then I ended up noticing that the exhaust was a little too vibraty compared to like the frame. Like, it was just shaking like crazy, but everything else was solid. And then I ended up grabbing it and pulling it, and she is just kind of hanging on there for dear life. So we definitely need to get that all fixed up. And you can tell I probably have a new muffler put on this thing as well. I ended up stealing it from the off-road quad here, because we even ended up breaking the stock muffler setup I built for this thing. It might be hard to tell, but inside this heat wrap, it ended up splitting the muffler inside there. So that might be a little bit salvage kind of later on, but for now, we'll probably just end up rocking this muffler, and I can just pick up a couple new ones. They're like 10, 15 bucks, so no big deal. But we really need to get this header all fixed up, because that is the most important piece here, and we can always just rock it straight pipes if anything. So I really need to get this all re-welded up, actually see what broke inside of there. I think it's just my previous welds from actually fixing this thing before, getting the exhaust all kind of put in place where I wanted it, and I think over time they just kind of broke. I'm not the best welder, so kind of expected it, but this time I'm gonna weld it all back up and actually brace it with like a piece of metal or like a pipe or like some threaded rod or something, just to make it a little bit stronger, and I shouldn't have to worry about this happening again. So I'm actually gonna end up getting to work on this thing, ripping the exhaust off of it. And I also want to fix up the air filter on it, so it might be kind of hard to tell, but this mount I built for it is just a little small, and the way it's kind of zip tied on there, it's just slowly crushing the filter more and more every time you ride it, and it gets a little bit loose over time. So I ended up reprinting a new bracket. I think I got it right here. Just a little stud, little 3D printed bracket. I'm gonna even have to redo this one just because this one is way too small as well, but my plan is just to kind of have this bracket be the length of the filter, so it actually has something to stick on, and it just bolts right into these factory gas tank points. So I'm gonna end up replacing this as well, just to make it a little bit nicer and stiffen up this air filter mount and get this all exhaust fixed up. And then hopefully by the end of today's video, we should be maybe ripping this thing around again. I have some sleeves still, so we can still rip it around, drift it around a little bit and test it out. And I would also like to do a high-speed run with this thing, since I haven't really done one with this thing. I think I've done one with the black off-road mini bike, and I even done one with the $100 mini bike, but I haven't done one with the new mini drift quad. So I kind of want to see what it's compared to the other machines, and then we'll also compare it to the off-road quad when that's all finished up. So let's get enough jabber jabber. Let's get to work on this thing, get it all fixed up, and finally take this thing around. It is raining right now, so I'm hoping it clears up by the end of today's video, but we'll see. But let's get this thing all fixed up and have this thing back on the streets again. Just got everything all taken apart and ended up swapping the new air filter bracket on there. So this is the old existing one that was on there. So you can see it was just like a small little contact patch onto the filter there. And as you can tell, it crushed the hell out of this filter. So gonna have to replace this filter, and this new bracket is not any better really. It's just gonna sit in the filter section here. So I just gotta widen this out just a little bit more so it actually just sits on the outside of the metal of the filter there. bolt that on, should be good to go. So I'm just gonna end up rocking this for right now, and then I have a new filter sitting on the shelf over there that I can end up swapping on later. And then I got the old exhaust, or the exhaust pulled off of it, even pulled off all the heat wrap and saw what actually broke. So it ended up breaking literally right outside of my welds all the way around, and then just started cracking even more and more. So I'm just gonna try to like get this all back in place as best I can, clean off this paint and weld it all back up. I might end up having to order a new exhaust for this thing, but no big deal. They're pretty cheap on Amazon and I get it pretty quick. But this will at least do for now. We'll get this thing back on the road and then we can fix it up all later on. And then I would like to really get electric start on this thing in the future, but we'll see. But let's get this all fixed up, get it all knocked out, and rip this thing around finally. Just finished up fixing up everything on the mini drift quad here. So I got the new air filter mounted up in there. I got the existing filter on there, just zip tie going around it. I will replace that later on whenever I get the new mount in and put a fresh filter up on it. But you can tell, got the exhaust all knocked out and repainted as well. I just painted a nice flat black, keep it from rusting, but re-welded that little section that was all broken right up in there, grind down my welds, and then it's kind of hard to tell, but on the bottom here, I ended up welding a nice little piece of flat stock, kind of, it's like a super small, it's like a keyway basically, but all the way up, and it kind of connects to the muffler here, so hopefully it'll give it a little bit more strength. And it looks pretty good with a nice gold muffler on there, and she is nice and tight to the frame too, so I'm pretty happy about that. Hopefully I don't burn my leg on it again. I would heat wrap it like I did before, but I kind of ran out of it, so I'll probably just do that in the future, and it actually gives me a kind of chance to keep my eye on that weld. But now she's all finished up, we can pull her outside, start it up, let this paint kind of bake up a little bit, cure completely, and then finally rip this thing around. I really want to try to do a top speed test first just to actually see what this thing is doing. I think it should be about 40 to 45-ish. That's kind of what I'm feeling based off the other mini bikes and stuff, but you never know. So we'll do a top speed test and then we'll pull back in, slap some PVC sleeves on the rear tires and drift this thing around the neighborhood a little bit, make sure she's all good to go, and officially have this thing back on the streets. I have this thing running for a little bit now, got the paint all cured up on the exhaust, got the engine all warmed up, so want to take it for a test drive. So I'm going to pull it to the end of my street over there, and I'll pull out my little Speedo app and then see what the top speed is on this thing, and then bring it back in here, get some sleeves on the back, and have some fun with this thing drifting around the neighborhood a little bit. Let's see, at the end of my street, get the Speedo app out. Alright, nope, oh, whoa, I don't want that, okay. There we go, reset it 100%, I'm just gonna put it in my pocket just like that. Load her up a little bit. See what she does. This thing ripped. Oh, no. 39? That's it? Hold on. All right, hold on. We're gonna have to try this again. Let's see. All right, we got reset it. We said 39.4 before. Let's see. Let me actually get this. All right. Let's try this again. Oh, no, we're not going anywhere. There we go. Make sure no one's behind me. donuts before. All right, 40.6. I will take that any day. 40.6, that's a good one. I'm gonna screenshot that just to have that for later. All right, so she's pretty good with the other competition around. All right, let's bring her back home. Let's slap some sleeves on it and let's drift around a little bit, have some fun around the neighborhood. This bad boy. 25. I got her flipped around in the garage here, so got some sleeves slapped up on it. Let's take this thing for a rip around, drift around a little bit, have some fun with it. These sleeves don't have that much life left in them, but we'll see. Hopefully they don't explode because that would destroy my calf, but we'll see. I've definitely been wanting to launch out of the garage since how slick it is in here. I definitely want to do some donuts in here one day. I just got to back out the Miata, get the other ATV out of here, and then we could really hit some big donuts. But it's kind of hard to tell, but I've done it before in here and this thing does it perfectly, so having all this extra space would be pretty sweet. But enough talking, let's go have some fun. Oh, come on. Oh, is it? Come on, baby. Jesus, that was weird. All right, well, she's running. That's all that matters. This thing slides so good. Holy shit. I want to hit this corner. A wet spot. Woo! Oh my god, this thing. Woo! She eats, that's for sure. The clutch definitely doesn't like all the load at like low end, but other than that, she rips when she's getting going. Oh my god. They're definitely getting a little bit more grip with the rough asphalt, but they're eating. I'm not gonna lie, I get a little too ballsy with it sometimes. It's so fun. Oh my god. Whew, that just killed my legs real quick. Ow. Yeah, that sleeve might come off. Alright, hit a little donut section real quick. We'll call it a quits. In the garage? Oh Hold on. I gotta get at least one. Nope. Not enough room. Hold on. Let me move this compressor real quick. We're gonna try something. I really want to drift in here. Just try not to hit anything. Alright, oh god, alright, I'm getting too ballsy. I'm done, calling it. That's it. So I had to call it quits after about running into the yellow Miata and the off-road mini quad over there, but the mini drift quad is all good to go. She is doing her thing and just ripping around. I'm glad it didn't really take too much work to get this thing all back on the road. I'm a little sorry about the POV clips. I'm kind of driving this thing around. It's either I show what's going on in front of me or I kind of show the quad down below and what I'm actually doing with it, which I'd rather show the quad itself. So that's just kind of how it is. It's kind of hard to get that in between there, but everything is all good to go on the mini quad. The only thing I really want to do left on this thing is to put electric start on it, because doing the pull start is kind of and after having all these toys, I would love to have a little electric start 6.5 horsepower toy. So we will see that in the future. I just gotta order up the kit and do all that, but other than that, pretty happy with how everything came out. The exhaust looks way better than it did before it was painted silver, so I'm really happy that flat black kind of really blends it in when you're just kind of looking at it real quick and it's not standing out in your face. But hopefully this should be all nice and solid now, especially having the brace going underneath it, so hopefully that should be good. And I'm definitely going to heat wrap that in the future, just because I can really feel the heat radiating off it with my leg right here. So get that heat wrap just so I don't burn my leg again like I did before. I'm gonna end up redoing the air filter mount again. Just do that off camera real quick, just because nothing really too big deal, but I need to fix that up, get that all nice, and then actually replace the filter on there. But jack shaft's all fixed, at least for now, so we'll see how long that holds. If anything, I have an idea how to fix it. I just didn't really want to weld to a freshly painted frame and all that, but in the future, I definitely want to take this thing out and enjoy it again. Actually have some fun drifting it around. We just need to pick up another set of sleeves, just because these ones are starting to get to the end of their life, and last thing I need is a sleeve kind of blown apart with my leg right in front of it, because that would not be fun. So I'll pick up a new set of sleeves, and later on we'll take this thing out and actually drift it around a little bit. But other than that, we're going to be back to work on the off-road mini quad over there, getting that thing done, and hopefully test driving it later on this week, and be actually enjoying that thing a little bit, and have both the quads all ready to rip. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hope you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content, and peace out.